Good afternoon. I want to talk today about defending your grief. You know what I mean by that? Time and time again, people question, are you still grieving? Yeah, what is the time limit? When you lose a loved one, whether you had that person in your life for 5 years, 10 years, 20, 50, 100 years, grief is grief. Loss is loss. But suicide grief and suicide loss is horrific. It's traumatic. It's very much a complicated, it's very much a difficult grief. And the reason for that is to imagine one person taking their life, doing life and death harm to their self. It's difficult to get through losing a loved one by suicide. And the reason I want to talk about this is there's nothing out there. There's no instructions. There's no stipulation. Anybody that's in the workforce that has group insurance, the union, nobody gets the time you need off. 3 days for a basic bereavement is a freaking joke. 3 days is like 3 months. It's gone. You haven't even had time to process what the hell just happened. 3 days? When our son died, my ex, Nicholas's father, worked for the municipality. 3 days. He was told 3 days to grieve. Your time is up. He got a call. Hey, you take any more time, it's got to be vacation time. Wow. Vacation time when your son died by suicide? You have so many things to take care of. I was in an office working for a window company. They were the most least understanding. The owner at the time my son died was very good, very good. The new owner and the management staff, oh my God, you've had enough time. I would work weekends to not be in the office during the day to have to look at people that didn't understand. Look at people that were judging me. How many of you have had to stop and say, I'm grieving. I've lost my family member. I've lost a huge part of my heart, my intestines. Like, what does it take? Why is it that Canadian mental health, any mental health, has not deemed it vital to have essential time off to deal with your grief, your loss, and your mental health, your mental balance, your ability to function? Please don't tell me you need to take drugs. You need to take medication in order for group insurance, the union, the government, any workplace to know, oh, you must really be in pain because you're on meds. And while you're on meds, you need to be left alone because they get to label you. You have a mental health, you have a mental illness, you're off on long term. I don't care long term, short term, you label it whatever you want. But my freaking son died by suicide. I'm not functioning. Give me a break. The last thing I need to do is try to show my workplace, try to show the public, try to show people out there that live a good life and haven't been touched by death. and don't know what they're talking about to say, let me see. Why is it you need time off? In the book of group insurance, in the book, the union states a bereavement is a must have 3 days off. Well, I think it's about time that the government and insurance and OHIP get it, that we are grieving the loss of a loved one to suicide, and don't force medication on me so that I mask it. I cover the grief up. I walk around numb, unable to feel anything. Do you think that makes me a better person to run the machinery? Or let's say I'm a nurse in a hospital, or in an old age home, or in an institute. Is it okay for me to be on meds that numb me, and then I've got to determine how to care for you? You got to be kidding me. This is a problem, and more understanding and more free play, more freedom needs to be allowed for the person. A mother who has carried their child for 9 months, maybe it was a shock that this son or daughter or loved one died, but maybe there were some issues leading up to the death. So you're grieving the past journey of your loved one coming up to suicide, and now they're gone. Please, where's your human compassion to put up? I don't care if it's 2 years or 4 years or 5 years. Have some compassion. Negotiate, work it out. Don't dictate. Don't open a damn book to page 89 and say, this book says that these are the rules of life. We must take 3 days of bereavement, and that's it. Close the book. I'm not part of the book. I'm not in with everybody else. Every human being is different, and everybody relates to pain, grief, and loss differently. Please, human compassion, humanness. Let a person grieve and have some respect. Don't dictate to us, the person that hasn't felt a suicide loss, that you should be over it now. Something wrong with you. You have to be labeled mental health, mental illness in order to get an extra 3 months off. Listen to us, the survivors of suicide loss. Listen to those that have lived experience a death by suicide. Give us time to heal. Lay off. Just leave us alone and let us heal. Or maybe try helping us out by saying take a few more weeks or months. And then let's come back together and see how things are. Maybe there's something you can offer us, not drugs, something else to help us along in our healing journey, like no pressure. Okay, I've said enough. We need this to be legislated, something. Think about it. And I'm sorry if you are struggling. I really am. It's not very nice. I love you and have a great day. Bye for now.